is Corporal Dave Couson. I'm with the RCMP Strategic Prevention Services. I take care of the Central Vancouver Island area, and one of my roles is to build a yes to no convention format for the high schools, along with a bunch of other things in other grades, but I'll talk about the yes to no format. Yes to no stands for Youth Empowerment Summit. Yes stands for Youth Empowerment Summit, and the number 2, and then KNOW for knowledge. So it's all about bringing knowledge to students throughout the day, and really to get them to critically think and empower them to make good choices around some of the key themes, which are brain development, mental health.
Just to give you a tiny bit of background, only 5 years ago did scientists start studying the teenage brain. Okay? Only 5 years ago.
Social belonging.
In this world that we live in right now, the more you can think, the more intellectual you are.
Online citizenship.
I'm encouraging you to use these tools to tell your story.
And drug awareness through marijuana education.
I want to give you guys some information so you guys can make that healthy choice on your own.
So it's a full day. It really does engage kids. It's all about getting them to think about the issues that they're facing in grade 8, because it's an important year. They just have transitioned into high school from elementary, and they are faced with a number of challenges. So the yes to no format is really meant to help them kind of leave the dock in the calm waters, as opposed to perhaps going down the rapids and going off track.
Well, I think it's really important because they cover so many different topics. You know, drug and alcohol awareness is really huge, and cyber safety and social belonging are really important topics for us to talk about at school.
Well, I think it's fantastic especially with our grade 8s coming to a new environment, new school, to sort of give them the tools to be successful in the high school environment. I think a lot's coming at them, and I think we know the importance of drug awareness, and to give them the tools to make good decisions as they're moving through their grades. Would you say, Ms. Graham?
I think it was really neat to see them all come together in one big room and get to know each other a little bit more.
Yeah, we use a number of speakers, and we have Gary Anaka.
A big round of applause for Mr. Anaka.
Who is a retired school teacher, and he really specializes in brain education. And he travels all over Canada and even parts of the US to deliver his brain-based learning format. And so he really talks about the value of feeding your brain, honoring your brain, nurturing your brain so that it really does grow and connect properly until its full development at age 25. So this is an area that we find students aren't really aware of, and it really does open some eyes.
Thanks. Good morning. I am from Nanaimo. I just live 1 kilometer from here. I taught teenagers for 34 years as a special education teacher in this school, Barsby, Wellington. And what did I know about your brains? Nothing.
Well, I taught teenagers for all those years, many, many years, and we didn't know anything about them. And they are our future. And so I decided that I would really become involved with the teenage brain, so I've learned a lot about it. Now I share as much as I can right across the country with teenagers.
Now, as a teacher trainer, this is what I tell teachers all the time, and sometimes you get weird looks. I have been training with neuroscientists in the United States for 20 years, and this is what I've learned. If your bum is numb, so's your brain.
The big mystery for adults in the world today is the teenage brain. I am quite sure if we ask the average citizen on the street what makes teenagers do what they do, they're going to say raging hormones, and this is not correct. It is the brain. The front of the brain is coming online, and parents need to know that this begins at age 10, not in high school, grade 8, 9, 10, but in age 10, they need to understand that the brain is making dramatic changes. It's called biological turmoil, and you're going to see them reflected in behavior shifts. So it behooves all of us to know as much as we can about teenagers in this world today.
You guys are the most mysterious species on Earth. We have tons of research about little kids, adults, and seniors, but the teenage brain is a mystery until now.
Well, we're hoping that they're going to take the advice and understand that the science now with the brain scans tell the truth, and that when we look at brain scans that are beautiful, a person's healthy and happy. When we look at brain scans that are not so beautiful, then there needs to be some changes in their life. So that's what I'm hoping, that the people that were in the audience today, all those grade 8s, will indeed think about their lifestyle.
Our next keynote speaker is Michael Bortolato, and Michael has cerebral palsy, and he has gone through a number of challenges in his life, but he's inspirational. He really does connect his students about how he had to belong given his handicap, and really he shows them if he can do it, they can do it, and he provides them with some very key things they can use to belong in a healthy way.
I'm hoping it learns. One, their lives are very special. Two, the dreams are achievable. And three, using the P+2 times A squared formula will help them get to where they want to go. I think a lot of students don't think they're good enough. Or I think they come from a place where they don't feel self-confident. I want them to see that even though you can be slightly different, we're all different.
Our next speaker is Jesse Miller.
Just a show of hands and no voices. Who here in the room has an Instagram account you can't log on to because you forgot the password? Those of you that have your hands up right now, what you put out there, you share, the internet has it. You're not getting that back. Thing is, in 5 years, when Facebook decides that they're not making Instagram money anymore, they want to get rid of it, the company that buys it is going to buy all those things you left behind. And you might care because that picture you took when you were in grade 7 and you thought it was really cool to lie about your age to sign up to something is now being used on an advertisement somewhere, but you gave up the rights to it because you decided to click, I accept the terms.
Jesse Miller is an online safety expert, and he talks to students around online citizenship and really does talk to them about the formats they're involved in, like Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, and really gets them to vision forward. So if whatever they're posting today will have an impact perhaps tomorrow, or when they're applying for a scholarship or a job, or even when they're a parent when kids Google them. So he gets kids to really think about how they're posting and what they're posting, so that they can be a little more aware of the results.
When you think about the internet, our student lives, the way we conduct ourselves over 5 years, what we do with our friends, that takes place in a lot of different areas. So in school, extracurriculars, anything to do with the school usually is signed off on by parents, they're informed. But anything to do with individuals tends to be something that the internet just takes and runs with it, right? So that's where we hear sometimes the more dramatic stories about kids texting back and forth or pictures going back and forth. It happens because of school, because that's how they meet, but not because it happened at school. And that's where our more public information is readily available, but our private information, schools and hospitals and things like that, do protect it in a very different way. Right?
If you're trying to get your story out there and you want people to pay attention, you want to make some money off of this, these tools will help you move forward because you can become the best food Instagram blogger in the world.
So more and more what I'm hoping kids are doing is getting away from that scary aspect of the internet and really opening up dialogues about how everything that we do, where we live and breathe, we participate with each other, has this uncanny ability to be documented and digitized for somebody else to throw out there and use. And the second we start speaking up and saying, hey, I don't want to be tagging that photo, I don't want to be added to that group chat, I don't want you screenshotting something and posting it for everybody else to see, we develop healthy relationships. At the same time, the user themselves has to ask themselves, am I prepared to have everybody talking about this if I hit send?
The last keynote speakers we use are Vancouver Island University criminology students, and they talk to students around marijuana and decision making, and we use a unique video called Cycles.
Oh shit. Very throat, take it. Put it out. Take it.
And a very non-judgmental conversation afterwards, just to bring out how the drug impacts young people in this day and age. And the last big component of the convention is the activity flow zone, and that's about a 45-minute activity in the gym, and there's 13 different stations for students to connect with. They have a passport, and on the passport are all the activity stations, and they are required to get stamps for participation. So this is where we invite the community in, and we use the school community. Some of the unique stations are we have our Coast Capital Savings sponsor there promoting the Booster Buddy app, and that app is developed by Island Health, and it's all relating to managing anxiety and stress.
Yeah, so the Y2K Summit, Coast Capital is involved for two main reasons. The first reason is to show youth that financial well-being can correlate to personal well-being. And the second reason is to promote an app that we created for youth struggling with mental health in conjunction with the Vancouver Island Health Authority called Booster Buddy. When they developed the app, we were hoping for like a couple thousand downloads in British Columbia, and we'd call it a win. And to date, it's been downloaded over 80,000 times across the world. So it's definitely been huge, and it's definitely helped lots of people all around the world from every sort of walk of life. In the app, through a series of games and questions, it helps sort of identify patterns and stuff that other kids have had that have developed mental health issues, and then helps them get help, and helps them through and all through a series of games. It's really light, and really can help people struggling with mental health.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I think the summit itself, we usually have 2 people come out to the summits, and they're days that we mark on our calendars because we have so much fun when we come out. It's so much fun talking to the different students and seeing sort of what they know about banking, and it's really cool to have them sort of either say, oh, I'm going to download that app right now, or say, oh, I already have that app. So I mean, that's really cool. That's really rewarding for us, and hopefully we see some kids in the branch one day.
You know, in this day and age, we have to keep the messaging going with students. There are so many risk-related behaviors coming at students through a variety of mediums like social media, like TV, like the news, through peers. And so things like drugs, things like risk-taking, if we don't keep the messages going as they proceed through school, then they lose touch with perhaps what is truly healthy for them. So the conventions are really meant for the students to be true to themselves, and we do things pre and post convention. The convention is the highlight, and help them really get off to a great start in high school.